Today we're at the Burning Pumpkin Fest, which is the fall version of Tsoon. Today I have my meetup and my lecture. Actually, I've already did. And tomorrow I'm cosplaying. Today I'm wearing Lolita because my lecture is Lolita related. So yeah, I'll show you around the event and Burning Pumpkin Fest took place from November 2nd until November 3rd in Tallinna Kultuurikattel, the same place where Tsoon normally takes place in. My Saturday started with my MXDX meetup, and I was honestly quite worried because it was supposed to start at 11:30 in the morning, and I was quite worried that not everyone's gonna be able to make it. I had some friends who were texting me saying that they're not gonna be able to make it, so I was very worried that maybe no one's gonna show up. But as you can see from the photos, there were people that showed up. There were over 20 people. I think maybe at some point there were up to 30 people. It's hard to say because the Stalker Hall is very open and there are also food tables next to it, so some people are eating there. But because we had our time slot so early in the morning, we were actually able to have a little bit more privacy because the food stalls weren't open yet. Their food wasn't ready everywhere. So in that sense, I'm actually kind of glad that they gave me the earliest available slot. And I think it overall went pretty well. I had a look around the artist alley and sales area afterwards and went to see the cosplay competition and the opening ceremony. Yes, the opening ceremony was after my meetup. The seats I managed to get were pretty much, I think, in the last row or in the second to last row, so it was really hard to film. It's overall really hard to film in Kultuurikattel because the venue is really dark and badly lit. I really need to get a better camera that films in the darkness as well. But yeah, I was also really far from the stage. So, but actually, when I was looking at the video footage for the first block of the cosplay competition, which lasted for an hour, I actually noticed that I can see more of the contestants from my videos than when I was sitting in the audience, because I held my camera higher than my face, so I can actually now see some of the contestants better than I did when I was at the event. But thankfully I managed to get a seat. I mean, there were some people who were just standing. The cosplay quality, from what I could see, was great. Also, as a side note, I really loved this specific Shrek performance. I thought it was so brilliant. But the first block also had some Modao Juju and Heaven Official's Blessing and even Scum Villain cosplays. So I was really happy to see them. The Burning Pumpkin Fest in total had 3 blocks, but I couldn't see the second one because my own lecture was on that time. But before that, I also went to see a lecture about being a mermaid, about how to be a mermaid, that was hosted by a professional Finnish mermaid. And I had actually met her previously at PopQuilt, and I have a photo on my Instagram where we posed together, and I was thinking, like, is this her? Is this not her? And thankfully on Sunday I had a chance to talk to her and confirm that it was her. She also had a mermaid team lecture at PopQuilt, but I couldn't get to it in time, so I'm really glad that she had one in Burning Pumpkin Fest, and it was really interesting and really informative, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope she does some maybe a little bit more specific ones in the future. Then I had my own lecture along with my friend Uduvi. We talked about Halloween prints and designs in Lolita, and for once I actually have a little bit of footage of my own lecture because my friend filmed it. And I think our lecture overall went well. I felt like my English wasn't up to its usual par. Somehow I struggled to form sentences a little bit, but it was fine. I think we did pretty well. I always love doing lectures together with her because we complement each other well. Then I also really wanted to see a Japanese ghost stories panel, but that one was much later in the evening, so I had a little bit of time to kill again in the artist alleys and in the shopping areas. So I just spoke to my friends, spoke to some of my acquaintances a bit. While I was waiting for the ghost stories lecture, I also listened to a panel about starting your own event. So I listened in on that a little bit, but because I have so much experience myself hosting events, I felt that maybe it wasn't aimed towards me exactly, so I didn't listen to the entire thing, but it seemed to be very well made and good regardless. So this isn't a criticism of the lecture, but rather the fact that I myself have too much experience in this field already. And then I went to listen to the ghost stories lecture. This one was actually more theoretical than I assumed. They also talked about ghost stories and ghosts and spirits and things as a theoretical thing, but they also told some ghost stories, and I was overall very happy with what I got. And that concluded the very first day. So the second day was much more chill for me because I didn't have to host anything. Day 2 started with the cosplay short form video competition. Now this one is kind of hard to show you because the videos were really short and I don't want to show you someone's entire videos, but also the videos were really short. I do really like that they have this new competition format that's a video competition because I do love video competitions, as you know. AMVs are my favorite, but the cosplay music videos are also cool. So I do like the format. I wish that they had put some sort of transitions between each video so you could easily tell where one ended and where the next one started, and so that you could also have a moment to just think about the video and to realize that okay, this one ended now and now the next one is starting and the author was this and this. The authors were displayed next to the video, but it would have been nice to have a moment to just have a look at who the authors are as well. And I understand that in TikTok that's how it works. It's just always one video after the other, but they do loop on TikTok so you can see them several times in a row. And even if it is like that on TikTok, I feel like there could have still been that breathing room there as well. But otherwise, I do really like that they are doing this now, and it was an interesting competition to see. So I listened to a lecture about the cosplay community and how older and younger cosplayers view it. It was really interesting. I had filled out the survey that they were using as their data point and the basis of their information. Also, on the first day, I had signed myself up for the cosplay masquerade because I was wearing my Baby Zen cosplay for the second day. So right after the lecture about cosplay and cosplay community and younger and older cosplayers, there was a lecture about Gyaru fashion, and I was really interested in that, mainly because I was interested in who was hosting it, because I'm in the Estonian Lolita fashion community and none of us knew that there are Gyarus in Estonia, even though we would have expected to know. But yeah, it turns out there aren't that many, but there is at least one. I don't know that much about Gyaru fashion. I'm not that knowledgeable about it, so it was interesting to listen about it more in depth. Sadly, I couldn't listen to that the whole way either because I had to go and get lined up for the cosplay masquerade. There were a total of 100 people in the cosplay masquerade. I was the 16th, which I liked. I like being not the first, but in the first half at least. It was really fun. I enjoy it. I don't really like performing in a sense that where I have to have a show or even a defile catwalk where I have to be on the stage for several minutes, but walking across the stage is fine and really fun. I do like performing in a sense that I like giving lectures, but the sort of cosplay performances are not usually my cup of tea, but I think these sort of masquerade things are pretty fun, so I'm glad I took part of that, even though I was a little bit uncertain about whether or not I should actually do it. But I'm glad I did. I watched the entire thing. Then I wanted to go and check out the Kahoot for Baldur's Gate, but there were 2 Baldur's Gate Kahoots, and the one on the second day was the advanced one, and I decided there's no point for me to be there because I haven't played the entire game through even once. On the second day I also sold the second cosplay block. I got much better seats, so now you have nicer footage. And yeah, lots of Genshin, lots of Vocaloid. This block didn't have any of my main fandoms, but I still really enjoyed it. Then, for the second part of the day, I very deliberately decided to just hang about, talk to my friends, chill, have fun, because I feel like that is such an important part of every convention, and I need to do that, and otherwise I don't feel like I've had the full experience. So here's my shopping haul for the Burning Pumpkin Fest. I got these little hair clips with strawberries and flowers, and I love how detailed they are. I'm definitely gonna wear them in Lolita, but I also have already worn them just like casually. I absolutely love them. And then I got this hairpin, which reminds me of Lady Windmaster, and I might actually use it in a cosplay if I ever do my Lady Windmaster cosplay, but I also just really liked it. I also purchased this Astarian bookmark. So one side is the sort of pretty, and the other side is a little bit more bloody, but also still pretty. Overall, the convention was really nice. The first day was actually surprisingly really crowded. I think this is a combination of several factors. One, it being a Saturday, there is always a sort of peak time at Saturday where there are a lot of people. And there is also a part of the layout that just always gets really crowded. But secondly, because this is the one big anime and Asian pop culture event that we currently have left, I think that is the reason why it's now so incredibly popular. And it has gotten better as well, and we have more and more foreign guests as well. I got to take some photos with one of my Latvian friends. I had fun, and I think the organization of Tsoon and Burning Pumpkin Fest has gotten better over the recent years. There are still some things that I personally feel could be a little bit better, but overall the organization has come leaps and bounds. And I do recommend checking it out, especially if you're in the area. If you were at the event, and if you were in any of the things that I hosted especially, please let me know if you enjoyed it. What would you like to do differently? I know that the video quality in this isn't too good, again, because the lighting and the combination of my camera not being the newest, but I hope you still enjoyed it regardless. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!